Shalom to all the Jews and Gentiles alike, sending a strong shalom to the children of light. Namaste to all. You already know what the deal is. We can give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, our power, to Yahuwah Sabaoth, Yahuwah 𝐭𝐲𝐬𝐬, Yahuwah 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬𝐬, 𝐭𝐡𝐢𝐬𝐿, Wakanda, Hawa, the Great Spirits, the All Parents, acknowledgement to the Earthly Mother, and acknowledgement to Yahushua, HaMashiach, 𝐭𝐻𝐸 𝐸 the Lamb, Yesiah, the Messiah, Yosha, the Lion from the tribe of Yehuda, the one the world calls Jesus Christ. So today we're going to be talking about the Superhelix, and we're just digging deeper and deeper and deeper into the spiritual science. And the lower the view is going to be, because we reaching higher information. Okay, and of course on this channel we just don't talk about the Bible and the Apocrypha and the 66 books and that's it. No, we going deeper. We going to different books. We going higher. We climbing Jacob's ladder. All right, so stay with me. All right, until the Spirit told me to tone it down a bit. You know what I'm saying? We gonna tone it down, but for this video we gonna be going higher. So let's talk about this Superhelix. This is the second light picture superscript. Thou shalt be the image. This is 158. Thus, at the point of entry from a light energy form into matter, we're just speaking on that body, a tunneling process from one vacuum state to another takes place. Here, two vacuum state realities containing charge carriers exist, where virtual particles tunnel from one state to another. When the image enters through tunneling, the energy levels of the waves of light become those of energy particles, which emerge from virtual and quasi particles, accounting for specific geometric formations, e.g. DNA, the helix, and the ATP structure, for manifestation of cellular components or entire life forms. Not only we, but other advanced life forms did not evolve simply from carbon. Atoms randomly joined together, but from a vibratory, harmonic, and tunneling from light dimensional realities. 214. According to Metatron, the fall of the thought forms was due mainly to the separation of many local hierarchies, which divided the Superhelix from the divine thought forms, the logos, that would normally operate as a light force within the newly established realms of life creation. So the Superhelix and your consciousness, it all goes hand in hand. Okay, that's why when your consciousness is increasing, it goes from a double helix to a triple helix, to a to quadruple helix, and so on and so forth. Because remember, everything is based off of the consciousness level. 269. The helix itself is generated from these movements or emanations of light wavelengths, bringing forth the higher code structure, which allows, through supergravity and especially supermagnetic torsions, advanced wave potentials, which can initiate the creation of biogenesis within Genesis and cosmogenesis. In our realm, with both supergravity and supermagnetic controls, the image models from the light mimic the Trinity strand superhelix, which appears as a two-stranded twisted helical ribbon of RNA DNA waveform sequences in our three-dimensional space. The helix appears not just on Earth, but also in outer and inner space. Now let's go to the first light picture superscript. Thou shalt be the lights. And this is 129. All matter in each sun universe is part of emanated extensions of consciousness. Again, all matter in each sun universe is part of emanated extensions of consciousness. Photons as quanta become the carriers of the consciousness coding in our zone. 130. At the beginning of the physical process of our immediate galactic playground, the Elohim, which are the creator gods, introduced a coordinated matrix of lights with supermagnetism and supergravity that creates wavelengths of light from higher light to lower light, establishing the various fields from other dimensions into our three-dimensional space. So photons and electrons carry consciousness, and supermagnetism and supergravity create wavelengths of higher light into lower light. But for those that are new, let's see what supermagnetism and supergravity is, just so we can kind of expand that overstanding. All right, so definition of supergravity: the original power of gravity working with a multi-dimensional reality. It does not exclude gravity generated from matter. Second definition: amplified or metagalactic gravity power in the universe used by the higher evolution to control conventional gravity sets. This allows for the releasing of gravitational trapped light, molecular restructuring, etc., which makes possible the advancement of a program/species. All right. Supermagnetism: the original power of magnetism manifesting prior to the existence of space-time realities. 326. Let's read what's in the yellow. I was shown that RNA DNA is older than the Earth. So when it says I was shown, it's talking about a brother named Jacob. Is getting the downloads from Enoch and Metatron. All right. So he's saying, I was shown that RNA DNA is older than the Earth. And in the evolutionary process, RNA came before DNA, at least for primitive life forms, and the superhelix comes before the DNA for advanced life forms. So for advanced life forms, the superhelix actually comes before the RNA DNA. All right, so it predates the RNA DNA. 361, the RNA DNA helix in all its forms from a higher level of reality is part of a higher vibrational superhelix trinity strand geometry, which provides the original higher code structure for the Adamic image. So the Adamic race had the superhelix, allowing for the advanced wave potentials to initiate creation through biogenesis within cosmogenesis. 368. Thus, we have coded within us all life's lines of growth, not just a double or single helix strand, but a higher trinity, modeled in the superhelical spiral of light. In the beginning, the superhelical light form descended from the atom Cadmon towards a chosen bioplanetary target to commence the activation of the light code utilizing the letter forms of life. 372. Thus, DNA is not limited to two strands, but can also form a triple helix called ℏDNA, When this happens, two are normal DNA chains, but connected with a third polynucleotide chain using Huston base pairs. 455. Consciousness shifts also play a role in gene expression. All of this is revealing that the higher coding is being protected, even within the chaotic structures, although slight mutations do occur over time. Nevertheless, the original coding, designed from the presence of the superhelix and tetrahedral patterns, emanates into all basic elements and has been divinely designed to prevail and allow us to return to our true form as beings of light. 456. Once the coding becomes manifest, it also has a repair function connected with the Tikkun Olam, repairing the world, enabling the original images to remain within the governing power of the superhelix from the family of lights. In terms of what Enoch showed me, at the end of a space-time manifestation, at the omega point, a field of light is placed around our body, as I experienced, and we move through the ultraviolet portion of our energy spectrum into a body of light. There shall come a time of great visitation and a time of the true transfiguration. That is, at the proper time or cycle of completing the baseline planetary work, our superhelix sequence allows for our reconnection back to the light, so that an entire system and its energy potential can be successfully expanded beyond the life state of a singular tree of creation with its alpha and omega cycles. So as the shift is happening right now, as these volcanoes, these earthquakes, these solar flares, all of that is going on, that is just signaling our ascension, because all that cosmic light and that cosmic consciousness is coming through, right? So it's like you gotta upgrade with the earth. As the earth is upgrading, you also have to upgrade. All right. 468. Ascension is both a collective process and an individual process, as seen in Jesus the Christ. The demonstration of Jesus in the tomb to transform back into a body of light, cell by cell, confirms for those who believe how every cell, and especially the DNA, was originally a waveform of energy and light. 472. At the proper time or time cycle of completing the baseline work, life is suddenly quickened or become quantized within the super helical wave that originated from the power of the Elohim, as the energy force moving along the trigonal and hexagonal hyperdimensional ribbons of life. However, there is a trinitized seal which cannot be anchored to the consciousness of the Adam Kadmon without giving up the ground state of existing as a singular creation. Meaning you have to get out of the mindset that you are a body and this is it, and you just stuck in earthbound consciousness. All right, it's just not going to work. That connection can't happen if you still stuck in matters of the flesh. 488. No longer will Adam and Eve exist in a fallen universe. Their divine image as light beings is destined to return to a place of divine glory, as the master image receives an image of itself. We speak of the image, but within the image and surrounding the image is the mind. In experimental realms like ours, mind and light are not simultaneous, but consciousness as an aspect of divine mind can ride upon the carrier wave of the light, higher light, lower light emanations between the localized minds and souls and impregnate them through light radiations. In our reality, it is easier for us to pick up on the local thought forms under the control of the experimental forces, right? The demiurge, the archons, the local logos. The local hierarchies are trying to keep you stuck in matters of the flesh, keep you thinking about worldly things, right? Again, in our reality, it is easier for us to pick up on the local thought forms under the control of the experimental forces. Yet, because of our image and similitude, image and likeness, we can directly reach out to the highest levels of thought. A higher stream of divine thought shrouded in compassion is already flowing into our local life space, which leads us directly to a place where the integrity of the thought forms can take us to new dimensional realities. If we pick up on the similitude signals, we will be consciously directed from self-will to divine will and reestablish our original greater knowingness. Therefore, for each of us, there needs to be an image unification with the similitude that provides a consciousness linkage, not only with our overself, but also with the advanced realms of the higher evolution. This consciousness upgrade introduces not only greater thought forms for the evolution of the soul, but our ability to function on every level of reality, including our overstanding of future science, so our species can realize its true higher identity image within the greater universe. Consciousness must be raised before our physical bodies can ascend. Whoa, wait a second, pause. Again, consciousness must be raised before our physical bodies can ascend. So when these Christians talking about, oh, well, we're going to get our glorified bodies and this and that and the third, nah, your consciousness has to increase first. The consciousness has to increase first. Consciousness must be raised before our physical bodies can ascend. Yet, the changing of consciousness confronts the human intellect and is overwhelming for the emotional body. I'm going to read that again. Yet, the changing of consciousness confronts the human intellect. Right, so all the Gentile dogma, all the stuff that you learn in the church, you got to throw that away. All that got to be thrown away, because that's going to be confronted with the higher divine thought field, the logos. The changing of consciousness confronts the human intellect and is overwhelming for the emotional body. See, this is why this higher information, this is not for everybody. It's just not. 497, the divine thought forms of higher wisdom and knowledge consequently cannot be reached with the ego mind. Again, the divine thought forms of higher wisdom and knowledge consequently cannot be reached with the ego mind. So thinking that, oh, I got this car, I got this money, I'm getting this bag, I own this business, you're not going to be able to tap into that higher thought form, those higher wisdom, higher knowledge if you in ego consciousness. It's not going to work. But with divine grace and a mind reflecting the unconditional love powered emanations. So you are not going to be tapping into that logos or upgrading your consciousness if you too focused on the things of the earth. What does the Bible say? Let's go hit the Bible. This is the book of Romans chapter 12 verse 2. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that consciousness upgrade, tapping into that higher divine thought, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of the Most High. So that's gonna be it for this lesson, for this video. Hopefully you were edified, you got something out of it, you ate good, you had you a snack, hopped into the pantry closet, you munched on, you nibble on something, and that's gonna be it. I say shalom and stay strong.